All right, no one is here. Hello, good morning. Who's here? Show me yourself. Ha, Razin. All right, okay. Hi, Razin. Okay. So yeah, this is the attendance. I hope it's the correct one. Tak ada. Kejap. Teacher nak ambil attendance kejap. So those who came the earliest itu, you put your all right, okay. Alah, mana ni? Ini dia attendance. All right. So this week SPM not that tedious. All right. So dia sampai hari Rabu saja. So I can do two classes, different classes for you. All right. Okay. So hari ini today we will be going into a new chapter. Okay. The dichotomous key. All right. So the dichotomous key. Hello. Good morning, Razin. Good morning, Faris Adam. Who some more here so far? Okay. These two only. All right. Okay. So yeah. So remember, the dichotomous key is one of the very important thing which always comes up for exam. So make sure you know how to do it. All right. So remember, dear, it always according to your the characteristic of the physical characteristic that you can see. Yeah. Satu pula, gimana? Ambil attendance semua terus balik. Alright, ini aku tak suka ni. Alright, okay. So yeah. So we will start with because I have right after your class in here, I have another class to go. Okay, so you know, right, 8:30 I have the BM version class. So without wasting much time, so whomever here, whomever not here, I will just start. Alright, so today we are going into a new chapter, which is the human respiratory system. Okay, so human respiratory system is actually one of the most essential system whereby they are involving, okay, they involve not only the breathing in and the breathing out process, but they also find a way to get the oxygen. Okay, as you all aware, up to now, you all are science students who's been with me for a very long time. All right. Remember that the most important essential gas for us, right, is oxygen. So the human respiratory system not only helps us to obtain that, okay, and they will the circulation system will send it to the proper region like the cells. Yeah. So they will send it to the proper region. Okay, then after that, they will also get this human respiratory system is also responsible to get rid of the byproduct. So what is the byproduct of our respiration in it? We needed oxygen. What is the byproduct? Can anyone tell me? What is the byproduct? See who can guess. Razin, what is the byproduct of our respiration? So Razin, are you still there? Carbon dioxide. Fantastic. So the respiratory system is also responsible to get rid of this carbon dioxide. All right. So as we inhale, we get oxygen. All right. Come on, guys. One thing. Hi, Mandrani just came, is it? All right. Okay, guys. Remember. Okay. Again, I recap. I know, it will take 1 or 2 minutes for you to come. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. Okay. So yeah, attendance, all right, attendance, okay. All right, okay, guys, remember, human respiratory system is very important for us to obtain the oxygen and also to get rid of the carbon dioxide, which is a waste product. Okay. So one thing that I would like to emphasize here again and again, because usually when the Form 4 students come in, all right, Form 4, those days in our school, we get students from all over Malaysia, right? Some of them are thinking that we inhale oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. That is actually very, very wrong. All right, we don't inhale oxygen and we don't exhale carbon dioxide. We inhale air. All right, we inhale air which has a higher percentage of oxygen and lower percentage of carbon dioxide. So we exhale also air, all right, which has lower percentage of oxygen compared to the one that came in, and higher percentage of carbon dioxide compared to the air that we inhaled in. So that is the best way to do this. All right. So please, we inhale oxygen. That is actually a wrong concept. All right. I better correct this now, because you guys, when you come to bioinform for, oh my God, we are having headache. All right. Because these are all concepts. All right. One wrong wording, it changes the whole meaning of the sentence. So that is it lah. Yeah. Okay. So the human respiratory system. Okay. So let's go into it. So the human respiratory system is the process of inhaling. Actually, all this you can do it. As I'm teaching, you can do it now. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. So that is inhale and exhale. All right. So the system in the body that helps us to breathe. Okay. So system in the body that helps us to breathe is what? Right? Is what? Is known as the human respiratory system. The structure of the human respiratory system is also shown in figure 2.1. So that is the figure. Okay, whatever, no matter what type of reference book that you are using, or like some teachers are so nice, they prepare a slide, all of them up to their own effort. But whatever it is, your main book, your reference book should be, your referral should be your textbook. All right. So keep that in mind. Just because they give it free to you, so don't misuse it. All right. Or you so it's not important. Okay. So this is the most important document in science. Okay. All right. Okay. So you have to see what are the anatomy part of it. Okay, so we have the nostrils. So basically our inhale and the exhale air, it comes through the nostrils, right? In normal times lah. Unless we are breathing heavily, then we may use the assistance of your mouth. So it's going simultaneously together. All right. But usually in normal relaxed manner, we will be using the nostrils. Right. So we will be using the nostrils, and we have the nasal cavity. It's actually the cavity is actually tempat kosong. We call it as an empty space there. Okay. So and after that, it will actually, you see, the thing is, up to a certain level, okay, in the mouth or something like that, we share the same airway or same pathway with the esophagus. Right, so that is why if you see here, can you see there's another branch here? So this is actually going towards esophagus. In fact, if your trachea is like that, your esophagus is positioned right behind it. Right, so right behind it. So that is where your esophagus is. So up to a certain point in it, we share the same entry point. Okay, but don't worry, we have a way to make sure that the food, whatever that you eat, it doesn't go into your trachea. So we have a way. God has thought about all this, so we have given us a very beautiful thing that we called as the epiglottis. We have the epiglottis. What they will do is, when you are swallowing something, because breathing is a continuous process which is happening throughout, right? But eating is not like that. Eating is like periodic. Kan ada masa you makan, ada masa so it's periodic. So what they do is they keep the airway open, but when you need to swallow, they will close the airway. All right, so when you need to swallow, they will close the airway so that the food is directed only to your esophagus and not into your trachea. Right, so we will get into all this. Okay, so that is your epiglottis. Okay, then we have pharynx and larynx. So pharynx is where, like the part where the esophagus and trachea is actually connected. The airway and the food pathway is actually like they are sharing the same pathway there. So larynx is the part where the starting of the trachea, I call it as the starting of the trachea, and that is also where somewhere there is where your voice cord, Patiswara. In Malay, we call it as the Patiswara. So that is where they are positioned, around there. All right, around the pharynx and larynx. Okay, so you can touch all that and see. Right, you can touch all that and see. And even if you touch your son, there will be a place where if the vibration is there. So that is where the vocal cord is there lah. All right, the voice cord too. All right, okay. Then we have the trachea. Trachea is a very specialized structure. What is the ring? Can you see that they have a ring there? What is this ring? Anyone can tell me what is this ring? What is this ring? Anyone can tell me? Wait. What is this ring in the trachea? What is the name of the ring in the trachea? Anyone? I No one? What is the ring in the trachea? They have a small rings, right? What is it? Ask your Pachi Google. Bronchus? No. The ring is also up to bronchus. They do have it up to bronchus too. So they have like rings all around trachea. What is it? No, Idris Sunny, it is not a bronchus. Trachea ring. Trachea ring. Hilarious, la, you know. What is the name of the ring? No idea? Anyone? It starts with C. Windpipe. Actually, that is a crude name we call it. We just call it as a windpipe. But then no, there's a name. It starts with C. See who can say. Who can give me the name? It starts with C. The clue is it starts with C. Google it up. Google it up. You all are so good at Googling it up. What is the ring in the trachea though? Don't say wedding ring. Don't say wedding ring. There you are. Cartilage rings. Beautiful. Thank you, Aiman. Alright. Ask. Oi, ini lagi hebat ni. I don't know what is cricoid in it. I don't know. So it is actually cartilage. Cartilage is enough, Ashri. That's enough. All right. Yeah, you all are right. Yeah. Okay. Lukman, very good. One Rani also very good. Cartilage. All right. So cartilage. This cartilage is actually a very, very important structure to keep the windpipe. Like some of you said windpipe. Actually, it's true also. In layman, that is what we call it. Okay. To keep the windpipe open always. All right, we don't want it to collapse. All right, in the event of any situation, we don't want it to collapse. Okay, we don't want it to collapse. So we want it to be constantly stayed open. So in that case, you have to have some enforcement. This cartilage is what we call as an enforcement ring. So wherever we need enforcement, so the cartilage will be there. Faresh Adam, yes, it's cartilage. All right. So wherever you need enforcement, like in the trachea, you need to make sure that they stay open all the time. They are not closed and so on. So you need these cartilage rings to enhance that structure. All right. So that is the meaning of cartilage. Yeah. All right. Okay. So beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So we have trachea and also all along the bronchus. So we have it actually your trachea. Then they will branch into two bronchus, left and right. So we have two lungs, right? We have two lungs, left and right. Okay. So you also have these are nicely enclosed in your thorax cavity. We call this as the thorax cavity. So you have rib cage. It is enclosed in a rib cage. You see, God is like so, I don't know how he managed to engineer us like that. So it's like, so these are most important, your heart, your lungs, these are the most important organs. So they make sure that this part is well protected. Right, so that is why your brain is in the skull, because you need to protect it, and also you need to make sure that these are also properly protected. So that is why they are in the rib cage. Okay, so you may ask, hey teacher, why in the head, the skull too, they have a solid one? Why like a coconut shell, right? Why in the in the apa tu, the lungs are in the rib cage, which is like a, it's like a cage. Everything has a reason. Everything has a reason. Why? Is because this rib cage is very important to control the volume and the pressure inside the thoracic cavity. Because your breathing mechanism, later we will go into it, your breathing mechanism is actually governed, or it's like controlled by your the volume and the pressure in the thoracic cavity. So to make sure that they can do this function, that is why they look like that. That is why they don't look like just like one piece like in your brain like that. No, in your head, no. Okay, because they have a function to control the volume and the pressure. So that is why in between the rib cage, you have another important structure which we call as the intercostal muscles. These muscles contract and relax periodically. They do contract and relax periodically in order to control the volume and the pressure. Right? Another beautiful, important structure. Okay? So that is why I really don't know. I don't know if we go and see how the God made the blueprint of all this. Oh my God. All these structures there. Right? So we have covered larynx, pharynx, epiglottis, trachea, bronchus branches into two intercostal muscle. Then after that, bronchus branches into more smaller, another detailed branches, which we call as the bronchus. All right. Then last part of it is the alveolus. So alveolus is the respiratory surface. Please note my word. This thing is called as the system. This is what we call as the respiratory system, because they are made out of various organs. All right. So the respiratory organ is your lungs. So be careful of these wordings. Respiratory system consists of your trachea, bronchus, bronchial, all this. All right. Then your respiratory organ is your lungs. Your respiratory surface is your alveolus. Respiratory surface bermaksud the minute, the most detailed part where exactly the gaseous exchange occurs. This is the point of the exchange. This is the point of the exchange. So that is why alveolus is called as the respiratory surface. Okay, so they are also have a lot of adaptation in order for them to carry out this function. All right, and they have these two lungs. All right, God maybe knows that if one goes out of order, we have another one to depend on. All right, so most important things are all like two, except for the brain. Even though it is one of the most important, I don't know, there must be a reason behind it. All right, okay. So yeah, then after that we also have diaphragm. Don't forget that diaphragm is another important feature. All right, which also helps to regulate the volume and the pressure inside the thoracic cavity. Yeah, so regulate the pressure and the volume inside the thoracic cavity. Right? Okay, so I don't know. Can you see me? All right, okay. So that is how it goes. Yeah. All right, okay. So moving on. Let's see the breathing mechanism, guys. One thing that you cannot. This is what we call a sequential event. All right, in science, we have few things which we call as the sequential event, where you cannot change the order of the sequence. All right, so it must go through a certain sequence, or not, it is not valid. It's invalid. All right, so these things you need to know and you must know. All right, inhale and exhale. Can you feel the air entering? Okay, I know now you are like, as I'm explaining to you, you are inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Do whatever you want. God, all these are with you. Place your hand on the chest. Do you realize that your chest is falling and rising and falling during breathing? All this happens on daily basis and every second, every minute. But we just don't realize and we take it for granted. Right? Right? Okay, so the direction of the air. So it goes through your nostrils. All right, so definitely it will pass through your nasal cavity, which is the cavity inside nearing the mouth there. All right, then they will go to the pharynx. which is the entry point of your esophagus and also your trachea. Then they will go to the larynx, which is where your vocal cord is there. All right, vocal cord, they call it voice cord, depends on some different names. Then after that, they will go to the trachea, the enforced windpipe. Some of you call windpipe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if possible, try to use their proper wording in science. Yeah. All right. Okay. Then slowly the air will go into your bronchus. The two bronchus, they branch into two bronchus and many of the branches there, which is what we call as the bronchus. And finally, they will reach the destination, which is the alveolus. Remember, alveolus is your respiratory surface. All right. Your respiratory organ is your lungs. Your respiratory surface is your alveolus. Okay. Respiratory surface is your alveolus. Okay, so itu dia. Boleh kah, boys? So far, any questions? Any questions that you have any doubt that you would like to ask? So far, so good. I'm out of coffee. I need to go and make. I wake up every day at 4 o'clock, you know. I think I'm going to make it into a habit. Every day I'm going to wake up, whether I got school or no school, I got SPM or no SPM, I'm going to wake up every day at 4 o'clock. And start doing work to torture you. But how to torture these children? How to torture these children? Teacher lah, what to do, right? No, it's like as you age, there are few things, you know, as you grow older. Razin Azza, I'll come to you. Before I want to talk something first, all right? As you age, this is like a nilai moral. Right? As you age, there are a lot of things that you find is not important anymore in life. Kan? Like last time, sleep is the most, for you now, sleep is the most important thing in your life, right? I know. For you. So was it to me. All right. But as we grow older and we know that our time is shorter, so you realize there are a lot of things which are not important in life, like unnecessary dramas. It's like, what? Kan? Unnecessary dramas, we just want peace. Lot of stuffs, you know, we used to have a lot of teacher used to have a lot of restriction. Oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, this one shouldn't be done like that. But now whatever, who cares, your life, do whatever you want. I'm like that already. All right. So yeah, you will come to the stage where, you know, some of you, maybe not all of you, but then it helps me to become more peaceful. Yeah, adaptability. Like online classes, 1 year we didn't go back to school. If I'm stressed out, or how am I going to reach my children, I cannot teach and so on, then I'm the loser. So I have to find a way. Find the most effective way. Hopefully it works and so on to reach you all, no matter what. Right? So I'm like that. Okay. Razin, a very good question. Why we need oxygen and not other gases? Fantastic question. Like, for example, we have abundance of nitrogen. 75% of our air is made out of nitrogen. And why we don't need it? Why we don't take in nitrogen as our most essential gas? Why we need oxygen instead? Anyone can answer. See, anybody can answer or not? Siapa boleh jawab? Think. Early morning, think. Start thinking. Why? Why we need oxygen? It has something to do with glucose. I give you a clue. The clue is they have something to do with glucose. Nitrogen is not cold. Our brain needs oxygen. Yeah, but why? Attendance again, guys, for those who came late. All right. We do need oxygen. Why we don't need nitrogen? The answer is with glucose. Anybody, first go and Google it. Why we need oxygen? Lungs is suitable with oxygen. Why it became suitable is because we needed it. It's not because we adapt first, then only we need it. No. Because we need it, we adapted to it. That is how we work. Dia bukan like I do the structure first and everybody adapt to it. No. Dia apa yang kita perlu, then only our body will adapt to it. There you are, the answer from Pachi Google. Because oxygen is needed to burn the fuel. You need to oxidize the glucose in order for you to obtain the energy. So for this process, you need oxygen. Glucose can be only oxidized by oxygen. Of course, the name also oxidized, right? So that is why we need oxygen, not other gases. Nitrogen can't do this for you, even though we have 75% of our air is nitrogen. But who cares? We don't care about nitrogen. But nitrogen is important for our protein function. That is another complicated series that we will go to it when you learn biology. So don't worry about it now. But yeah, for oxygen, why is because we need oxygen for the oxidization of the glucose in order for us to obtain energy. So that is the reason. Very good, Faris. Fantastic, fantastic. Very good. At least Pachi Google is helping, you know. If in the normal class, when I ask questions, you guys were like, please not me, please not me, please don't pick on me, please don't pick on me. Nowadays, since Pachi Google is always at your side, you just quickly Google it up and let me know. Which is also one way of learning, right? I cannot, say that you are wrong. At least you are trying, can. So we help each other. So actually, I'm okay with this online stuff because Pachi Google always helps you. If in normal class, when I ask questions, I will be like, when these children are going to answer, you all will be like, not me, teacher. Hopefully, she doesn't pick on me. Right. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, but then, yeah, this is how it goes. Yeah. Nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, then trachea, bronchus, bronchial, and alveolus. All right. So, yeah. So now here, the science info, it's actually very, very important where you need to know that the proper breathing technique is very, very important in sports, even during labor. You know, when the women are giving birth, right. So when you have the correct breathing technique, I don't know, maybe you've watched, you guys, right? You have watched in a movie like they say, breathe, breathe, breathe. So they will be, right. So all this actually helps in some ways. All right. And correct breathing technique is very important in order for you to increase your stamina in sports, especially. Right. So this is how it works. Okay. So let's go into inhalation. How the air comes into. Remember, we don't inhale oxygen. All right. We inhale air. So how it comes into our lungs, yeah, and reaches the alveolus, which is the final destination. All right. So look here. It is initiated when we inhale. Okay, when we inhale, what will happen is, intercostal muscles are actually muscles in between the rib cage. How many of you like to eat KFC, the rib bones? How many of you like to the KFC? You like to eat KFC, the rib parts, because some people like to eat the rib parts. All right. Next time you're going to KFC or eat any part of the chicken, I want you to go and look. It's okay. It doesn't matter if your mom has already cooked it. It doesn't matter at all. You can devour it later, but you can do some science experiment before that. All right. Everywhere. You can do it anywhere. No problem. So if you find KFC, tulang rawang. Mana ada tulang rawang? Bukan tulang rawan lah. Intercostal is a type of muscle lah, deh. It's a type of muscle, all right, which is in between these two rib bones. Next time, okay, never mind. You tell your mommy, if tomorrow you're going out, you tell your mommy you want to go to KFC or whatever you fancy, okay, buy the rib part of the chicken. Even if you don't like it, never mind, someone else can eat it. You bring the rib parts back. You take the topong coating, the flour coating kan, dia memang ada flour tu kan. You take it out, okay, you observe the ribs. If you observe the ribs, yes, what you can see is there is actually two types of muscles in between this, which is connecting these two ribs. You can see it. I promise you that. You will be able to see. So no need to play with the chicken, real chicken. The beauty about this is you can see it, and after that you can devour it later. Yummy, rib bones. So the layers of muscle in between these two rib bones in it is what we call as the intercostal muscles. And there'll be two, you boleh nicely, you boleh korek dia keluar, satu tu, the top one, another one is inside. So there'll be two layers. You see, every day, science. Pergi beli KFC hari ni. Siapa planning to eat KFC today? Early morning teacher already give you idea. Your mom and dad must be thinking, this science teacher, ayyo, she asked to go and find the biggest eyes. Ayyo, susah lah. But then, yeah lah. Do it lah kan. If you are at school, mungkin I would have belanja you kan. Beli KFC hari ni tengok semua rib cage. Right? Tapi tak ada. Alright? Okay, tak apa. So, yeah. So, this is in between the two rib bones. All this you can see. Why I want cooked chicken is because easier for you to, you boleh keluarkan dia. You boleh, okay, once you take out the coating, the flour coating itu kan, the tepung punya tu you sudah kasih keluar, you boleh nampak tau the first layer and the second layer inside. Alright, so you can take it out, then this one and take it out. Of course, after taking out, you won't be leaving it for a museum, right? You will pop it inside your mouth. It's a 2-in-1, right? But there are two layers. So these two layers in it helps to bring the rib cage upward and outward. That means they control the movement of your rib cage. Yeah? Intercostal muscle contract and pull the rib cage upward and outward. Hey, how is upward and outward? Is it like that? Upward, upward, outward. Is it like that? Ini kena tepi ni kejap. Can you see me at the side there? Like this. Dia bukan upward and outward. It's not like that and like that, No. Alright. Upward and outward is diagonally like that. Like that. Nampak ke? Macam ni. Dia macam ni. It's like diagonally like that. Like that. Not upward and outward. No. Alright. Lot of children say upward and outward. How? Upward and outward. Where would go like that? Right. No. They will go like that. Upward and ini ialah upward and outward. It's like diagonally going like that. Yeah? Hilarious lah you. Good. Alright. So this will expand the thoracic cavity. Not only that, you have the diaphragm, the diaphragm right below here. Alright. Which will contract and they will become, because they're normal, how they look is they look like that. Normally when in relaxed state, this is how they look. So now they will be flattened. So once they become flattened, what they will do is this will increase the size of the rib cage. Okay, of course, the size in the rib cage will increase. So when this happens, all right, when this happens, all right, when this happens, the volume will increase. When volume increases, the pressure decreases. Okay, breathing mechanism, we are playing with volume and pressure. That's it. There's no magic about this. When the volume increases, the pressure decreases. Okay, so that's it. So when the pressure inside decreases, outside the air has a higher pressure, the air will just come in. So, it will come in. Okay, because inside the volume is bigger, the pressure is lower. Okay, guys, so far any questions? Again, intercostal muscles, which is in between your rib bones, all right, each of the rib bones in it, they will pull, they will contract and relax in there's another word for it. Okay, I don't want to touch that. Okay, so what they will do is they will pull the rib cage upward and outward. Macam ni upward and outward. Not like upward and outward, Alright, like this. Not like upward and outward. No, upward and outward. Upward and outward. Right? So they go like that. So this together with your diaphragm, which usually like they are like that, they become like that. So all this, the intercostal muscle pulling the rib cage upward and outward together with the diaphragm muscle will cause the volume in the thoracic cavity to increase. So when the volume increases, pressure will decrease. When the pressure decreases, automatically the air will come into the into your thoracic cavity. Yeah. So this is the breathing mechanism, dear. Okay, how about when you're exhaling? Exhaling dia ni is totally different. Okay, yang ini I will come to it. Okay, wait kejap Okay, exhalation. Exhalation pun sama juga. The intercostal, by right, actually they shouldn't write relax because muscles will always start the action by contracting first. But never mind, we just follow whatever it is. That's why I say, even if your textbook makes a mistake, all right, but we still have to honor it. We still have to use it. Okay, it's not a mistake, but it's not proper to use muscles relax first. Muscles don't start the action with relaxing. They start with contracting. That is their work. All right, okay. So the intercostal muscles will relax and cause the rib cage to move downwards and inward. It's not like downwards and inwards. No, it's like downwards and inwards. Okay, again. Wait, let me see what am I exactly I'm showing because sometimes I'm out of the frame. All right, downwards and inwards. Okay, downward and inward is like that. Okay, you inhale, your rib cage will go up like that. When you exhale, your rib cage will come down like that. Okay, not like upward and outward and inward and downward. No, like that and like that. Like that and like that. If you don't believe me, you go watch yourself in the in the mirror. This is what teacher said. Right. I'm telling the truth, you know. All right. Okay. Your diaphragm will relax and curve upwards. That's why your diaphragm in their normal position is like that. Just now they contract and they become flattened when you need to inhale. Now they become relaxed and they flattened. Flattened. They become curved. All right. They become curved. So all this with the rib cage is like becoming smaller with the diaphragm, which is like already curved upwards. All this will decrease the volume. The volume inside the thoracic cavity will decrease. So when the volume decreases, what will happen to the pressure? The pressure will increase. So when the pressure increases, the air will be pushed outside. So that is the idea. So the air will be pushed outside. Okay, so that is what will happen now. All right, so when you exhale, the intercostal muscle relax and the rib cage move downwards and inwards as shown in the figure. So diaphragm muscle relax and curve upwards. Okay, the movement of the rib cage and the diaphragm will make the thoracic cavity smaller. Okay, so the volume is smaller, pressure is higher. Right? So higher pressure will push the air outside. This is what happens. Okay, guys? Okay, so far so good. Any questions? Please, you see, guys, you see, always when teacher teaching, there are actually, that is what usually happens in my class. What you will do is, I will ask you to read first. Have you realized that? I always will ask you to read this. Read first what the lesson that I'm going to teach. So what you all do is, you all berbincang dengan kawan. You'll always be talking with your friends. But there is a reason why I do that. Because when you read, actually you are trying to absorb something, but you do not understand it. But you have to listen to the teacher's explanation. Okay? The teacher has to explain whatever that you read into, the teacher explains it. So you get it audio, the audio there. All right. After that, the third step that you need to do is you need to reread. You can read balik. Okay, so when you read again, that's when you will understand it. You will see in a different light because the teacher has already explained to you. All right, with all your doubt cleared and all that. So when she explains and when he or she explains to you, you get it audio, the audio too. Okay, so it's a different type of understanding. Then after that, you have to reread. 3 kali. That means satu bahagian tu you have to see it 3 times. First, you read it on your own. Second time, the teacher explains, you listen. The third time, you read it the second time. So that is when it will go into your head. Ini ialah teknik pembelajaran. Alright. Okay, so far so good. Any questions, guys? Nope. Alright, fantastic. No questions? Oh, I need coffee. Before the next class, I have to go and make myself another cup of coffee. Coffee is free flow, especially on Fridays, because I'm stressed out a lot of classes. All right. Okay, no questions, I guess. All right. Okay, Risani, thank you for the validation. All right. Okay, let's move on. This is actually, these experiments are actually very interesting experiments that we do in the class, in the lab. This one I don't know whether, I don't think so you can do in the school, at home. Why is because you need this type of apparatus. Maybe you can design one, okay, to serve the purpose, but I don't know if you have a glass jar or what, calibrated or what. I'm not sure. Maybe you can, it actually looks pretty simple. All right. So you boleh, actually you can modify to show this. That will be a very interesting PBL, very interesting PBL. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then after that you have the Excel. This is a bit tedious lah. I don't think so it can be done in at home. Yeah. Okay, so this is the experiment which I hope when you come back we all can do. Okay, then yeah, this one is just the explanation of yeah. Okay, so today it's up to here only. The movement I'm not going to touch. All right, I have another class after this. So far, okay, guys, you have any issues or not? Up to the up to this part, up to 2.1 today. What we covered in 2.1. You have any questions? No? No? All right. Okay, fantastic. All right. Okay, guys, if no questions today, no homework, nothing for this part. All right. Remember, I've already given how to submit. All right, your scrapbook. This is the one that has the scrapbook. Okay, also the video too. Okay, some of you asking how do I submit that? Okay. Um, wait for a while. Okay, wait for a while. Let me get some instructions. But it's no harm. You just do and keep, right? You believe what to do and you can keep first. So I have not decided how exactly I want to retrieve all this work from you. Okay, because I have to think that this situation now is not going to be prolonged. You have to come back to school where you don't have much internet access to work with. So yeah, I have to think about all those things. Yeah. So yeah, I will formulate a way. Give me few days. I will let you know how to go about this. Right? Okay. So if any questions, no questions, shall we call it a day today? Because I have another class to attend at 8:30, and I need to make a jug of coffee to keep me sane throughout the day. Right? No. Okay. So thank you guys for being with me at 7:30 in the morning. Okay. And the torture will continue. Maybe next week, guys. Maybe next week I will give you a pre-recorded, because next week I have a few official events, which is like a coinciding. It's like on the 12th. So most probably what I'm going to do, I don't know. Maybe I will just assign some work in GC, or I will assign the pre-recorded video. It's up to it depends on how much time do I have. It all depends on the time. Yeah. All right, guys. If no more questions, we call it a day. So I'll see you soon. Bye. All right. Bye bye.